Don't ask Liz about it, but nobody died.
Jim Valenti to the rescue!
Because of Max.
Hello and welcome to Pass the Hot Sauce, a Roswell podcast. I'm Eliza Ora.
I'm Lorena Rose.
And I'm producer Ashley.
We're here to talk about every episode of the 1999 WB series Roswell, one episode at a time and spoiler-free. Today we're discussing Season 2, Episode 20, Off the Menu.
According to Crashdown.com, after an accident causes Larrick's memories to intrude upon Brody's mind, he goes crazy and takes several people hostage at the UFO Center. This episode originally aired on May 14th, 2001. It was directed by Patrick R. Norris, our frequent friend here on the pod, and it was written by Jason Katims with Russell Friend and Garrett Lerner. Those are new names for us. I looked them up. This is their first episode writing, but they do go on to write multiple other episodes for Roswell, as well as being on the producing team for most of Season 3. So we're going to see their names a lot more. They seem to be a duo. They have an almost identical set of credits. They've worked on a lot of other projects together, including Glee, which is an old favorite of mine, and a bunch of other stuff that wasn't as interesting to me. So I'm just going to mention Glee.
Cool. Works for me. So we have our cold open again. And
why did I think that this cold open only lasted like 3 or 4 episodes?
Me too!
Same. I always thought it was like a couple episodes, but
I guess I just block it out of my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I feel like in this episode, it's very helpful.
Yeah, it's a little more important because we're going to go back in time to this time that, like, didn't seem important at the time when Alex was still alive. But now let's talk about this thing that maybe is important.
Which also, like, there's a lot that happens in this episode. Why was it not important to let us know that, like, Brody remembered and he held everyone hostage and Sean got stabbed? And, like, why was this stuff just not important?
Yeah, I have so many questions about, I love this episode, but I have so many questions about its placement here as the second to last episode of the season.
Is weird.
Like, I just feel like it had to have been some sort of afterthought for some reason in the writing and producing team. Yeah. That it's a great story, I'm glad it's here, but, like, there's no reason that it couldn't have taken place before the prom episode or, you know, back earlier in the season, except for that maybe they hadn't had the idea and written it yet.
I fully agree.
But it is such a, like, separation from the mindset that the characters have been going through the last few episodes. It's completely unrelated. So, yeah, I just, like, wonder why here, why now?
Yeah, everything is, like, put on pause. And we're getting towards the end of the season, like, stuff is building up.
Yeah.
But suddenly, like, this feud between the humans and aliens is, like, on pause. Tess's pregnancy, nobody's talking about. You know, nobody mentions Alex. It's weird, yeah. It, like, doesn't fit here.
Yeah. On one of the episode descriptions I read says it takes place before the prom. But it doesn't go into more specifics than that. So.
Okay.
So, yeah. Few episodes back. Few weeks back.
So, Maria does look really, like, somber at the end of her cold open segment. She, like, looks down quietly, so it kind of, like, sets the scene of, like, something bad is going to happen here. So, UFO Center, Brody is acting really shady. And doing some, like, crazy thing with this helmet and some sick graphics.
Yeah, I know. I was like, look at this fancy virtual reality equipment from 2001. Yeah. Look at these fancy computer graphics.
Sick, dude.
It made me think of the Sims Urbans. Like, I don't know why. I guess the warehouse probably is what gave you, like, that vibe.
It does look Sim-ish.
Yeah. And it, I love that his, like, VR helmet is, like, literally built on top of a bike helmet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like I guess you would if you were a computer genius back in 2001 and you built your own virtual reality simulator. You would just, you know, it would be constructed out of found objects and stuff.
Yeah,
so
a helmet. Easiest helmet to get. A bike helmet.
It's got a nice little chin strap. It stays on nice and tight.
I'm so confused about how this works, though.
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
Makes sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
It does.
Like,
yeah.
don't think too much into it. It doesn't work. Like, this could never work. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, memories can't be, translated onto a screen in visual form. That's just...
Yeah, he's like, and I remember there was a boy, and he, like, stares at the chair, and then all of a sudden you see Nicholas's face. Like, that's...
shows
Yeah.
up. Yeah. He sees Max, too, and then gets, like, sparked out of it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, before he gets sparked out, it tells him that the memory is full, and he overrides it, which is what I feel like what we're meant to believe is the reason that it does explode is because the memory is full, which is, like, also not how computer happens.
No.
Like, it won't just, like, don't worry, if your computer's full, it's not just gonna, like, catch fire in your office and, like, and cause a blackout in the whole town. Like,
it just won't save things. It just will say, sorry, this is full, I can't save it.
Yeah, and I can't, it might even crash and not continue to operate, but it won't explode.
Still no fire will happen. No sparks, no fire. That's so funny.
I do like how much time we spend in the UFO Center in general in this episode.
So much time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the majority.
The bulk of the episode, yeah.
Yeah. Max goes to fix the electricity, and then Tess just, like, shows up. Like, is the UFO Center even open? No.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty late at night, and he's, like, doing after-hours work, to get his 8 in,
I mean, but Michael and Isabel were also... just gonna go in and see him, so, like, I don't think it's weird that she just walked in.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not open, I guess it's not, they're not, like, in a dangerous part of town where it's gotta be locked up tight the second you kick the tourists out, I guess.
They're across from the crash down, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it's nice and safe.
Family
Yeah,
spot.
nice and safe. The series didn't start with a shooting or anything. It's just a great little strip of...
Yeah!
Ashley, nobody died, okay?
Not according to Liz.
Don't ask Liz about it, but nobody died.
Nobody died. And here I have to say, poor Tess. Like, she bought Max a present, and he's, like, an ungrateful shithead.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's like, what's this?
Like,
what?
And this was good acting on her part, I think. The inflection of her voice when she's like... When she says, like, it's fine, I'll just give it to Kyle, and he says, Tess, wait, and she says, what? Like, just the way she says what is just so defeated, and, like, it was, I thought it was good acting.
So, a fun little tidbit of information I got when I was at the UFO festival recently, when we were, like, so it was a silent auction with Brendan and Mahendra, and they were auctioning off scripts from the episode Baby It's You, which all of the Tess haters were, like, not excited that it was that script, but, like, that's what Brendan found in the back of his closet. But it was this cool thing. He had 3 copies of the script, like the original printing, the, like, one with edits, and then the shooting script, and you could, like, compare them and see where the differences were, because there'd be like a special notation in the script, and you could look back in the previous edition and see what they changed and why. And, like, the examples he's giving, they were some of Tess's lines, and then the notes were that, like, because the word choice was difficult with her accent. So they were, like, shifting around the word choice to try and be something that wouldn't stand out as much with her Australian accent. But yeah, back to the power outage. Brody does not look good. He does not look good at all.
I feel horrible for him.
Yeah.
This whole episode.
I just, like, this whole series, he's just, like, completely being manipulated by the alien race because he has, like, a manipulatable brain, I guess? Like, but, so he says Lyric is obviously an alien name. What if it's just a Czechoslovakian name? Like, how does he know it's an alien name? It could be anything.
Right.
Yeah, and Max is like, I'm not an alien. And then I wrote, oops, force field.
Yeah. Whoopsies!
You're not doing a great job.
Yeah. But, I mean, what else is he gonna do if Brody pulls out a gun? Like, I mean, I guess you're gonna use your alien powers to protect yourself, or what? Get shot and die?
Of course, yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, you're not an alien? Then how do you explain that?
Opening credits. And he has it all caught on security camera, and he's gonna save it onto a CD-ROM. Because it's 2001. Or maybe he's saving it to a DVD. A DVD-ROM? I guess it's probably a DVD-ROM.
Yeah, probably.
I like to think it's a CD-ROM, though.
Yeah, so after the credits, back in the UFO Center, and same situation, Brody with the gun, holding them at gunpoint. And unfortunately, all three DeLucas come in.
Yeah.
To, like, bring Amy's t-shirts?
To get them.
Yeah.
Oh, to get
them. Or does she want to get them, or does she want to deliver them?
She wants to pick them up. They're hot off the presses, and she wants them on the market ASAP. Also, later we see them in the storage closet, and Liz gives one to Sean. She pulls one out. So, but they were picking them up, and then they say George W. is an alien, which also reminds you what year it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, gotta get those t-shirts ready for sale immediately in the middle of a blackout. Leave it to Amy.
And then she sees the gun and she says, or maybe another day. Come on, kids.
Yeah, she's like, or later. Come on, kids. I love that.
I love Amy DeLuca.
Oh, she's the best.
Me too.
So, the Valentes. Stuff is awkward between Sheriff and Sheriff.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, Sheriff. Hey, Sheriff.
Yeah.
You know I'm not the sheriff anymore, right, Sheriff? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Jim.
Yeah. He just, like, can't do it. It's, like, so unnatural for him.
I mean, Hanson is, like, such a little follower. Like, he's such a good deputy.
Yeah, he's not a leader. He's not a sheriff.
Yeah, and Jim was the sheriff for so long.
Yeah.
That's gotta be, like, just a hard habit to break.
Yeah.
Totally.
And he says that the police are completely overwhelmed and this might be an FEMA situation, which I think is so funny that he spelled it instead of, like, it was like on the down low between the two of us with no one else around. FEMA.
Which is funny because, like, it is an acronym.
But nobody calls it FEMA. Everyone just calls it FEMA.
But it's like he's spelling it like it's like a secret and like other people won't know what it means while he's spelling it. But like it is FEMA. That is what we just pronounce it FEMA. But like you're not being secretive by calling it that.
Yeah, true.
Oh, Sheriff Hanson.
Ugh, that doesn't even sound right.
No, it doesn't. It's Deputy Hanson.
Deputy Hanson. Rolls off the tongue.
Then we head back to the UFO Center and Brody is, like, really getting pretty, like, unhinged here. He's very confused. He's very upset. I continue to feel bad for him. He's just,
Dude, too. Poor guy. Like, he is a victim here. Yeah. You know, like, and, like, it, you know, he is making other people victims in this scenario, so that's not okay, but, like, poor guy.
But he doesn't know what's going on.
No clue. He doesn't even know who he is.
Then we get the, God, I love Amy DeLuca so much.
Yeah.
So fierce, Mama.
Don't point that gun at my daughter.
And it's the way she says it. She says, do not point that gun at my daughter. Which he continues to point it at her. It doesn't deter him at all.
Yeah. And then Maria's phone rings, and she convinces Brody that obviously she needs to answer it, or it would be suspect if she didn't answer her phone. And then I'm like, I know you have to, like, talk in code. You can't just say, Liz, come rescue us. We're being held hostage. Right. But, like, she is so sure that Liz is going to get her...
It's so obscure.
Her clue about the Galaxy sub with Pepperjack.
I was honestly surprised that she didn't get it.
Oh, no, I'm like,
They have had conversations about...
How Brody...
That's what he has.
Yeah, and he has it every day. And they always are working together.
Yeah, that's true. I still have questions about how Maria serves him his lunch every day when, like, shouldn't she be in school?
In school, yeah.
Uh-huh. I think she said almost every day, but still.
But Saturday and Sunday is not almost every day.
No. Yeah, and if she was serving it to him every day, shouldn't it have been his dinner?
Yeah, because she's in school.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
So she tells Liz, just to go back a sec, she tells Liz to take the Galaxy sub with Pepperjack off the menu.
The menu.
So we got the title of our episode right there.
But yeah, I was like, I don't think Liz is gonna get this. And then she does not get it. She's like, more like, wow, Maria just hung up on me, but she's not like, and later she's like, I don't understand this weird thing she says to me, but
like she knows that it was weird, but can't figure it out.
Yeah, she's just like, that's weird. Like, she never hangs up, or she just hung up on me. And then I love Michael's like, she does that to me all the time.
Happens to me all the time. It's fun. Also, I have a question about this scene. So there's obviously no power. So Michael brings out these basically raw burgers. And Isabel's like, this food isn't even cooked. And she goes to heat it up with her powers. And he's like, don't do that. It'll taste like crap. That's inconsistent with the first season, because they used to heat up their food like that all the time.
Well,
all the time.
We see Isabel do it, but do other people do it? Like, maybe Michael never does it because he always thinks it tastes like crap and Isabel hasn't cared before.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just started thinking about, like, the tacos and the hot dogs, and I was like, I feel like they've never mentioned it tasting bad before.
No, it's just for the purpose of this episode.
Yeah.
Only. And that's the whole purpose of this scene, is just the exposition of
the food tasting.
When you do this with your food, it tastes weird.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, now we know. We'll remember for later.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only purpose. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily fit in. I think you're right, Lorena, that we've only seen her do it.
Yeah. And still, like, even whether or not it tastes weird, I feel like, because I feel like it's because later in the episode when they bring the food and Brody's like, wait a minute, this tastes funny. Wait a minute, how did you even make these if the power's out there too? He could have just been, wait a minute, how did you even make these if the power's out there too? Like, it didn't have to be that it tasted weird. It could just be like, wait a minute, if your power's out too, how did you even, like, operate the grill and and prepare this food in the first place? Like,
yeah, why did it have to be like, is there a new cook? Like, why does this taste different?
Yeah.
We do see Liz give a little chuckle. It's not really like a laugh we would count. It's more like a side smirk and a giggle while she's eating the fry. And the reason that it sticks out to me so much is because this has been such a depressing last couple of episodes that I was like, oh, it's so nice to see her smile.
She smiled. Yeah.
Yep. And only because this is at some unknown time in the past, not in the present timeline. Right. And then I want to know where Brody got the tritium amplification generator. I had to, like, rewind and make sure I wrote it down right. Where did he get this thing?
The museum.
Yeah, but, like, where did the museum get it?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really question it.
And Max just keeps denying everything, and it pisses me off. Because even when he used the tritium amplification generator.
Yeah.
But still, Max is like, no, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And, like, this poor guy, like, he deserves the truth.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I just wrote down, the gaslighting is strong.
Yeah, fuck you, Max.
Yes, it is. We're not aliens. No, everything's totally normal. We're not even dating. We're not in love. Like, just through the whole episode, just trying to gaslight the shit out of poor Brody.
Yeah, it's horrible. And Maria's like, Liz will know. Liz will know what my code meant. She's my best friend.
Yeah, she's my best friend.
Cut immediately to Liz.
What does this even mean?
Wait, hang on. Before, when she says, I gave Liz a coded message. Any minute now, the cavalry's gonna bust in here and save us.
Yeah.
And the way that Amy DeLuca's fucking face, like, she goes, and then she turns where Maria can't see her, and her face is just like, there's no way this is going to work. How the hell am I going to get us out of here?
Why is my daughter so stupid right now?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I love the hard cut then. Back to Liz. And she's just like, what?
Galaxy sub with pepper jack. Does that mean something to you? And Isabel's like, I really listen when Maria talks. I'm probably not the best. So she goes, Michael? And Michael says, I don't really listen either. Which I think is not true. He does listen. He absolutely doesn't
He doesn't
give a fuck about this conversation. He just wants to leave.
Yeah. And he obviously listens because he shows up with very thoughtful things all of the time.
Yeah.
So he's obviously paying attention to her wants and needs.
But I will say, I think it's accurate that he probably doesn't listen to anything work-related.
Oh, yeah. But it looks like Michael and Isabel are going to go also meet up with Max after work. The power's out, whatever. And luckily they escape. Just barely.
Barely.
Yeah, Michael tried to use his powers. I don't understand how they escaped when, like, they're being shot at and Michael just, like, stands there, like, with his hand out, you know, like...
Yeah. I guess we just have to trust that Brody's bad with a gun.
Yeah, his shit aiming because he hits the light. And then Michael does duck down and he says, run, go, go, go. And so then they duck out and run.
Yeah.
And them coming in just made Brody angrier.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's like, if you try to contact your alien friends again, and he's like threatening them.
And this is another phenomenal Amy DeLuca moment. Their hands are bound, and she takes her arms and puts them around Maria and says, get behind me, but she's facing.
And then we've got Jim Valenti to the rescue, or at least to try to, like, diffuse the situation with his sheriff skills, even though he's not the sheriff anymore.
He'll always be the sheriff to me.
Yeah, in my heart.
Yeah, he asks about demands.
Yeah.
Sean's like, I could use a burger.
I know, I love this. And fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and fries. But, like, thank God. Like, that was a good idea, you know? That's what got Liz in with the camera and everything.
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even though she's the worst spy ever.
Yeah, awful. Horrible. I do love that he, like, he's like... asks his hostages. They want a list of demands. Like, what?
Like, what am I supposed to do here? Like...
Because, like, he is not an evil guy. He is just, like, super discombobulated and, like, disoriented.
Well, there's too much stuff in his brain.
Yeah. And he doesn't know, like, what is what anymore.
But he does know people need to eat.
And he was, like, all for it, too. The second that Sean is like, I could use a burger, he's like, yeah, we have hungry people down here. We need 6 burgers.
And he's carrying, you know, he's like, gotta borrow your cousin.
I know, with one of the alien mannequins. I love it. Yeah. And then he's just, like, walking around, like, holding it by the foot, like, for a while.
And then he, suddenly just kind of, like, stops and turns around and has this sudden change with this nice, happy memory.
Yeah. Of when Tess and Max met.
And it's a cute story.
Yeah. And he helped make it happen.
And she says, at a party.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Like, super gentle like that. It's kind of annoying.
Okay. I'm so sorry, listeners. But I love Max and Tess. I think this is adorable. I think it's adorable when they start dating and, like, holding hands. I think they're so cute, and I think they are way cuter than Max and Liz ever were.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I cannot. I do not. I like Max and Liz way better than Max and Tess.
I just don't.
I'm here for you, listeners. I'm here to speak up.
But Max is all about the gaslighting here. We already talked about that. That's all, like... You know, Larrick / Brody is having all these, like, beautiful memories of Max and Tess's meeting. And, I mean, I know Max is doing it to, like, try and, like, 'cause for him, that's his vision of how he's gonna diffuse this situation and keep things safe. But, like, he's so gaslighty. And, like, you see the look on Tess's face when he just outwardly denies that there's anything between them. She just looks so hurt.
We're not in love. We never have been.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
Cut to the Sheriff Valenti recon team on the roof of the crash down. He's got the computer up there. They're spying on the situation. They're scoping it out.
And Hanson, you know, shows up. He's like, we tracked the source of the power outage. And Valenti comes up with, like, such a ridiculous lie. But, you know, Hanson is like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, boss.
You know, he's like, oh, the door automatically locks when the power goes out, so people are stuck inside.
Yeah. Also, traffic lights. Why don't you go direct some traffic, Hanson?
Yeah. Also, what's up? Like, there are hundreds of candles. Did you guys notice? all the fucking candles? Like, because the power's out, but like, who even has that many candles?
And how did they truck them up to the roof?
They're everywhere. And like, you don't have flashlights?
Nope.
It's 2001. It's not like 1820, you know? And then they go downstairs, and they're in the kitchen, and Isabel speeds up the cooking, and shouldn't. Although, here's the thing. They were already on the grill. Like, she didn't do the cooking, she sped it up. Like, how?
So the way I was thinking about it was that Michael was using his powers to, like, basically, like, supply the electricity to run the grill and boil the oil, but still wanted things to, like, happen in the natural order, whereas she wanted to, like, use her powers to physically cook the thing so it would be done in a snap.
Right. He was trying to make it happen in a way where it would taste good, because he cares about the quality of the food that he brings out of that kitchen. He's got integrity.
Yes.
And Valenti gives Liz instructions. He's, super worried, like, and then you get out of there. He gives her instructions and a spy cam.
Yeah. Why didn't they hide it in a button? It's a buttonhole camera. You hide it in a button. You don't just, like, pin it on your chest.
Yep. Just right there, just out in the open.
Yeah, but whatever. I guess we need a reason for her to get noticed later, so let's put a buttonhole camera not in your buttonhole.
Yeah, it has to be visible for the story.
Yeah.
I love when, first of all, like, it is not hard for her to get through the barricade.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll move something. He moves, like, one thing, but she just, like, walks right under it. And I love when he goes to pay her, and he's just got all this cash, and he's like, keep the change. I think I'm rich.
Yeah.
And just, like, the fact that, like, this is, like, the nice sweet side of Brody coming out again. He's like, she's been inconvenienced. She's had to deliver food. Like, he still wants to pay her for her time, even though it was, like, a hostage demand. Like,
Right. And she's like, no, it's on the house. But, no, he wants to pay.
Because he's a good person.
But here's what's, like, not good personally about him. Like, even though Sean was the one who was hungry, like, Brody opens up and takes a bite of a burger first before distributing any of the food. He's just like, I'm gonna have a burger.
Also, how are they gonna eat their food if they still have their hands behind their backs?
But, you know what? That's interesting. I didn't even notice. Sean's are behind his back, aren't they?
Sean's are behind,
but Amy's are in front of her. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did have Max do the tying up, so, I mean...
There you go.
Of course.
Makes sense.
He probably started with Sean.
Yeah.
And then because we know that it makes it taste weird, he's like, oh, is there a new chef or whatever? And like you said, it, like, is not quite necessary.
Yeah, because then he still goes, like, wait a minute, how did you cook this food so fast? Or, like, without power. Not so fast, just without power.
Yeah.
So now Sean is going to try and be a hero.
Because Brody takes Liz and is like, you're one of them, and, like, is holding the gun up to her.
Mm-hmm. And Max
jumps up.
He stands up, but he doesn't do anything. He just stands there and says, leave her alone. Like,
and he gets shoved back down.
Sean is the only one that made any effort to try to disarm Brody.
Yeah. Whether or not it's smart, I don't know. I've never been in a hostage situation.
Right. No,
but yeah, he's the only one trying to inwardly diffuse the situation or take control. I
think if Liz had, like, fed off of his situation, she could have got the gun before Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
She just stood there like a dum-dum.
Well, that's Liz. But how was Sean planning to get that gun from the floor with his hands taped behind his back?
I think he was probably going to kick it
just
away from him
away.
And push him down again. Like, I'm sure he was just like, he was thinking on his feet, but
long-term plan.
No, it's not. But he had to do something, and the way that he gets in between Brody and Liz when Brody stands back up and he says, she's just a girl, man. Leave her alone. She's not an alien. Like, that was hot.
Everything he does is hot. I love Sean. I love Sean, like, maybe more than I love Kyle. No. As much, probably. That's like...
As much,
and that's saying a lot. It's saying a lot, because I love Kyle. And Brody is angry. He gets another phone call. He's like, what do you want?
Yeah. And then Sean decides he's going to be a hero again because he has a knife in his back pocket. So he has Liz get it out and help free him. But, like, now you're going to be a hero again, and now you got stabbed, dude. Like...
Because of Max.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because Max. Sean, no!
It's so dumb because, like, I just think I'm so mad at Max. I'm so mad at Max.
Well, it's also, like, what did he think would come of yelling Sean no? Sean was already, like, lunging. What, he's going to hear him and stop in that moment? Like, no. You're not going to stop him by saying that. You're just going to alert Brody.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Max fucked up. Great job, Max. And I also, like, he's not wrong in that, like, I think Sean shouldn't have done that. Yeah. But it's not.
But
like,
Liz is not wrong in that it's your fault. Now heal him.
Also, like, I hate how they're like, Sean, are you okay? And he's like, yeah. It's like, when you get stabbed in the abdomen, you don't know if you're okay.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what it punctured. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I love that Maria says, how can you be wounded and on the make at the same time? Which, like, on the make? What teenager?
That's like what yeah, what teenager says on the make?
I had to look it up. I didn't know that phrase. Yeah. I mean, I knew, like, from context what it was, but I was like, what? Where? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're swapping words around to, like, get things to not sound Australian when Tess says them, but, like, how about, like, interviewing somebody under the age of 40 when writing your dialogue for high schoolers?
And I hate that Maria's like, aren't you with someone? And, like, looks at Max. Like, let it go, Maria. Like she's
they're not
like,
together.
Yeah, they're not together. They haven't been together all fucking season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, though, if we, like, rewind to pre-prom, like, things were maybe starting to come around with them, you know?
Maybe.
Like, there was a time in, like, mid-season where you kind of think, like, things are coming around and surely they're gonna get back together.
Yeah.
So cut back to the crash-down roof, and Deputy Hanson got kind of smart here and, like, realized he was being sent on, like, a useless task to get him out of the way, and he is not happy about it.
Yeah.
Because he is not a deputy, he is the sheriff. He is in charge.
Right. And Hanson is like, is this a hostage situation? And Valenti's like, even if it is, like, what are you going to do about it?
Which, like, rude.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Rude. I mean, true, but
also,
rude.
like, right.
Yeah.
Because, like, what he chooses to do about it is not the right answer for a hostage situation.
No.
Yeah. And I mean, and it is
bring in the battering ram.
Yeah. Technically, it's none of Jim's business because he's not the sheriff anymore. Obviously, we know he has to be involved because it involves aliens and he is their caretaker and protector. But, like, you know, but as far as Hanson is concerned, this is his job and his task. And why is Valenti getting involved and keeping things from him?
At the same time, like, even if this were just, like, a purely human hostage situation, I feel like going in with, like, a blowtorch and a battering ram is, like,
it's not really the
answer.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Like, that's how you get people killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you ask for demands and you, like, supply food for hostages.
You bring in, like, a professional hostage negotiator.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, there are people who do that for a living.
You send in a plant to, like, recon the situation. Like, these are all things you really do.
And, like, even we are not sheriffs, and even we know
Right.
Didn't Hanson, like, get training to become a deputy
sheriff?
And sheriff?
Yeah.
Also, one would think that, like, the state police that he called also would know better than to just, like, bring in their fucking sharpshooters and battering ram.
Yeah.
Which we didn't see a battering ram, but he did say at one point, like, bring in the battering ram.
Yeah. So Hanson's pissed, and we cut back over to the UFO Center, and this is when Tess realizes that Max is definitely still in love with Liz.
Yeah.
And she's not very happy about it, I'm sure.
And she's like, we used to be. We used to be in love.
Yeah. And then this is also where Max comes around and decides to just tell Brody the truth and try that tactic, because the other tactics have not worked so far.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology classic.
Yeah. Oldest trick in the book. And meanwhile, like, up on the Valenti Recon Center, Kyle Valenti is going to join the party. And, because he picked up some chatter on the police scanner and he wants to, like, see if his dad needs help.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dad doesn't want Kyle anywhere near the UFO Center and somebody with a gun, because almost exactly 1 year ago,
PTSD.
Kyle got shot in the UFO Center.
In the UFO Center, yeah.
So instead he tells him to go to the library to get the blueprints. And he says, the library's closed. And Jim says, we'll kick the window in.
Yeah.
Love it. We need those fucking blueprints. Who cares if it's closed? Yeah.
Yeah. We're already breaking the law here. Like, just go get the blueprints.
And, like, yeah, if your dad, it's like, this is his parent and, like, former sheriff of the town telling him to do this. Like, you're good. Go do it. You're fine. Yeah. Also, because, like, if Kyle got in trouble for it, like, you know, Jim would 100% take the fall.
Yeah.
Like, I told him to do that.
Uh-huh.
And then back at the UFO Center, Max does start telling the truth. And that's when Amy is like, reverse psychology. Oldest trick in the book.
Oh, and Liz is, like, not sly at all. She's like, let me just aim this camera
on
my boob over.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Liz, this is not how you do it. All she had to do was, like, stand up and pace.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a normal thing for a hostage to do.
Yeah.
She's so obvious about it that he sees it from across the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's on the other side of the room when he sees the camera on her dress.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was starting to calm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so right before that happens, he's talking with Max. You know, Max told him the truth, and he's like, well, if you're Zan and I'm Larrick, then what are we doing here? And, like, it seems like he's kind of being, like, reassured and calmed by the fact that Max is like, you know, we're gonna go home, blah blah blah, which, like, is not true for Brody, because Brody is not Larrick. There is a Larrick. He is elsewhere.
Yeah, Larrick is just taking control of Brody's brain.
Brody's not going anywhere. He doesn't belong on another planet.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
And Max is like, shoot me instead of Liz.
Yeah. And then this is where we start having a lot of back and forth as we get to, like, the climax of this episode. So we're like, outside, we're inside, we're outside, we're inside. The cops are surrounding, and Michael and Isabel are gonna, like, sneak back to, like, get the control panel and try and put the door down. And, like, there's just a lot of back and forth happening here. But at the end of the day, the cops are gonna come in. Michael and Isabel have a plan to try and, like, bide them more time, and Brody starts dragging people locking them in the office. And then this is where they find the virtual reality equipment and kind of put together the pieces that his brain got scrambled.
And they're talking about all this in a tiny room with Amy DeLuca.
Who doesn't hear any of it.
And I'm so mad about it. Do you know how much fun letting Amy in on the secret would be?
Yeah.
Like, her and Jim could be, like, the alien parents. Like, they could have... Yeah. I'm so mad that they...
Yeah, that they didn't include her in the story.
Right.
They have they have included people into their, like, the knowledge and whatever, and, like, good things have come from it. It's people they can trust, people who have helped them. Mm-hmm. Like, why don't they realize that, like, it's okay to tell some other people who you trust?
Right.
Oh, yeah. When he tells them to get into the office, or, like, when they're still being, like, forced into the office, or have just been forced into the office, and Maria's like, they always put you in the back before they kill you.
Yeah.
And this is when Max finds the helmet.
Yes.
So, you know, Liz is like, well, if it's short-circuited, you know, he's like, humans only use a small percentage of their brain at any given time. Which I don't know why that's, like, a major trope in, like,
science
every
fiction
sci-fi show. Because it's just not true.
But what if it is? How would you know?
Google. That's how I know.
Just giving you a hard time.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But, you know, I know how to find credible sources.
I just have questions about Maria going to talk to him. Because one, where's he at? Did he lock them in and he's outside? And so how did she get back out to go talk to him?
Right.
I feel like maybe they're not locked in, like he shoved them in there, but maybe it's not really locked, like...
But they're trying to break the code to get back out. And my other question about it is, like, Amy just let her go?
Yeah.
The reason that Maria says she's going to talk to him is, like, I think because when they realize that it could have been a short circuit, then that's, like, a brain injury.
Yeah,
so,
it's not...
Right.
You know, so Max is like, I can heal it, we just need to turn off the pentagram, which, like, that's not what it's called, but okay.
Yeah, it's not even really a pentagon. I guess it's sort of a pentagon shape, right? I feel like they just said the wrong word and it didn't get caught.
I think it is a pentagon.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure the script doesn't say pentagram. It's probably just slipped out of the actor's mouth wrong and it didn't get caught and corrected.
So, yeah, Maria goes in to talk to him.
I just don't see a world in which Amy was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, off with the guy with the gun by yourself, Maria.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Especially because she's freaking out about it later. Like, he's gonna kill my baby.
But Maria is so calm under pressure. She's so good with
really
Brody.
She is.
She does better than anybody else in this situation.
Right. But first we go to the rooftop and they have the blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael and Isabel are gonna go.
Yeah, try and activate this, like, fire door or whatever. Yeah.
And Michael's like, we can take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't know the range of that device thing. Like, if you can't use your powers, you're just a teenager.
Yeah.
And, like, cannot take care of yourself. But luckily...
That's not the case.
Right. But also he's like, the lever hasn't been activated in years. Which, because he said that, you know, to be like, maybe
this is going to cause problems. Perhaps they will have to find another way. Mm-hmm. Which they do. They go find, like, the, like, manual operation of it and are able to still get the door to roll into place just in time.
But also I found it funny that, like, they kind of just, like, walked right past the whole...
Nobody noticed.
Yeah, they did.
Everyone was too preoccupied with breaking...
Cops and everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't, even though you're not trying to get in the front door, like, they're not gonna let you, like, walk around the side of the building when there's a hostage situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just, like, didn't even notice them walking by.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Maria, she's using this, like, soft tone of voice to talk to Brody, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so soothing.
I deliver lunch to you almost every day. Like, talking about his daughter, and who doesn't remember it all.
He doesn't remember.
I know, his brain is so... It's so garbled, like, he doesn't even remember Sydney.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And then, we're going outside, inside, outside, inside.
Yeah.
So they find the lever, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and Maria, like, does convince Brody to trust her and gets him to deactivate the tritium amplification generator so that Max can heal him.
Yep.
And I love Amy going off, like, telling Max, I don't even remember what Max says to her, but she's like, oh no, don't you start with me. And she tells him off, and she, like, goes over to Sean, who is trying to get the code thing to work, and she's like, are you a criminal or not?
Yeah.
I know, I love that. I love it so much.
Oh, yeah. That's a good moment.
Also, the cops using this blowtorch, I was like, they said it's solid steel. You know, the door is solid steel. And I was like, and they're using a blowtorch to cut through it? Like, I was wrong. A blowtorch absolutely cuts through steel.
It will?
I looked it up, yeah.
Huh.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's a blowtorch, like butane. Butane can get hot enough to melt steel. Isn't that wild?
All right.
I know, I thought it was silly, but I looked it up.
And then because Amy is not willing to, like, get in on the plan, like, Sean is totally willing to get in on the plan. Liz says she'll go on a date with him, and he's like, okay, you got it.
I fell down the stairs.
Down for it, and Amy is like, no fucking way. And I hate that they have to mind melt her.
But even before that, when Max heals Brody, he sees Larrick's memories, and he, like...
Yes.
This is, you know...
And now he holds those memories of him and Tess. Yeah.
He remembers Tess, he remembers meeting her, and, you know...
And assumably the feelings of love, and...
Also, so... When she, first of all, she doesn't ask anyone if it's a good idea or if it's okay to mind warp Amy. She just does it.
She just does it.
I don't like that.
Fucked up.
Maria's face when she realizes she's pissed and she starts walking towards Max and Tess. Do we think that there was a deleted scene where she goes over and like confronts them about it? Because that
I think it's likely. She does like seem to be about to respond. Yeah. No, I think that's totally possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's highly possible. We should ask them if we ever get to interview any of them.
Yes. Also, when Sean, when Liz convinces Sean very easily to cover up the whole thing, he's like, okay, I fell down the stairs. Doesn't he have, like, an abdominal stab wound?
Yeah.
Unlikely that you would get that from falling down the stairs.
That's why he has to put on the fresh shirt so they don't see his stab wound.
But then why would he even have to say, I fell down the stairs?
Yeah, he would.
It's like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta go to the hospital when you have an abdominal stab wound. Any stab wound.
Those George W. as a alien shirts are like a light gray. Like, you have a bleeding stab wound. Yeah.
It's gonna bleed
you're
through.
You're gonna get blood on that.
Yep. And then there's a lot of, like, quick on their feet, quick thinking here when the cops do get through.
Yeah. Quick question, though. Have we seen Tess do, like, permanent mind warping before? I feel like often it's like a...
Yeah, it's little stuff. That's true.
So, yeah.
But you're right. There's a lot of thinking on their feet, and Brody says, well, where did this come from? And holds up the CD, and Max says, oh, my God. I downloaded it from Napster for you, Michael.
Yep.
Let me paint you a picture of where we were in time with Napster. Okay? Napster got shut down 2 months after this episode aired. But litigation. So this was May 2001. Litigation between Metallica and Napster. I don't know if you remember Metallica spearheaded
I do remember
that, like, lawsuit or whatever. The litigation started in July of 2000. So, like, it was already happening.
It just they hadn't been shut down yet.
An injunction was served March 2001, so 2 months before this aired. And then a settlement happened 2 months after this aired, and they shut down.
Wow.
So, because it kind of, like, was funny to me that in front of all these cops, he's like, I downloaded this from Napster. When, like, it's in the news and everything that it's illegal.
But, I was, I didn't know that there was a problem with Napster until it got shut down. Like, I wasn't watching the news enough to know that there was litigation and things happening. Like, it worked, so I used it, and then when it wasn't a thing anymore, I just found a different way to illegally download music.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, what cop is going to be in the middle of trying to figure out a hostage situation and be like, Napster, we got to have a talking, you little man.
Yeah.
Like,
I just thought it was funny.
No, that's a good context point, though.
And possibly my favorite part of the episode when, they're all like, what do we do now? And Brody's just like, who wants a cup of tea?
Yes. I also love the moment when things are starting to dissipate and Hanson sees Sean's shirt and is just like, but Sean's response is like, I can get you one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even say, like, you like my shirt,
So
I can get you one. He just literally is like, I can get you one.
Right. Also, like, just before this, when Brody is like, who wants a cup of tea? And he goes in the office, Maria, like, skips off with him. She, like, happily skips.
I missed that. I'm going to have to go back and look.
Check it out. Because, Brody is a good guy and, like, he's healed now and whatever, but, like, they were still in a pretty traumatic situation with the gun being waved around.
Maybe she's acting for the cops.
That's true.
Like, everything is fine. Look how happy we are.
Yeah. Let's go have tea. I'm not afraid of this man. He didn't just hold me hostage.
So then I'm assuming it's the next day at the crash down.
Yeah. But is it a Saturday? That's the question.
Probably not, because Saturday is probably Maria's day off. She only works
probably.
during
She only
school
works
hours.
when she should be in school.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Only, like, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Typical working hours for a high school student.
Yeah,
But I feel so bad that Brody is missing more time.
But he's like, he's much more like calm and okay with it this time. Because like he said, like he remembers how it felt. Yeah.
Yeah, and that she was there and she was helping him. Just real sweet. But like,
it's a sweet,
you know.
It was a sweet moment between them. And she's like, wherever you were, like, what'd she say? Wherever you went, I'm glad that you're back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is one last scene. Did did Max even, like, knock on the window, or he just, like, went and climbed right in?
No, yeah, he just, like a creeper, just, like, climbs into her window while she's sleeping.
Like the entitled asshole that he is. But
she doesn't mind, because he remembers their life together and their love.
And she cries.
Yeah.
Oh, and my heart melts.
And I want them to kiss here, and they don't.
Yeah, they should have.
But it also made me think, like, about the way that their relationship progressed after prom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he definitely remembered her and how they met and everything before they had sex, which makes me feel better about them having sex than I did originally.
Yeah.
Because
it seems so sudden originally. But now we know there's more backstory, and that he knows and remembers their relationship.
Right.
It's so weird to, like, go and, like, throw this in the timeline before.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know, when it's like, but we saw the development of him learning to remember and all that, and now you're telling me that, like, there was this whole other thing that we didn't see?
Yeah.
You know, it's, like, annoying. But now we see it.
Yeah. I like this episode anyway, even though they, like, randomly put it in slot 20. And it should have been probably in, like, slot 15.
Like, when it actually happened.
Yeah. But, anyway, that's fine. What are y'all's hot and saucy moments for this episode?
Now let's see who's hot and saucy. Man, I feel like this is a hard one.
I have 3.
Oh.
Okay, never mind, actually. Maybe I can have one of yours.
Well, yeah, so I thought for sure you were definitely going to pick one of mine, and so that's why I came up with others. Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am.
So, my initial pick is Amy DeLuca when she says, "Do not point that gun at my daughter."
Oh,
the ferocity in her voice is just like... And then I also have Sean when he stands in between Brody and Liz and says, "She's not an alien, she's just a girl." Ugh. Like that. And then the other one is Jim yelling at Kyle to just break it. Just kick the window
Do you
in.
like everybody's ferocity?
I do. I'm here for the all the passion.
Yeah.
So, but my official pick is gonna be Amy.
Got it.
Don't point that gun.
Okay, then my official pick is Sean, specifically the part that you mentioned.
I thought it might be.
Oh my god. I love him standing up for her. And, like, trying to protect her. It's sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And my pick, I will pick Jim this week. Because I like Jim. I like Jim more than Sean.
Somebody's got to do it. Lisa's not here.
Yep. Yeah. In honor of Lisa, I will pick Jim. I like Amy better, but she's already taken, so I'll pick Jim.
You can absolutely use one that one of us used.
I know.
Yeah, and also there are plenty of good Amy moments.
Yes.
Also, like, we all cheated. I mean, by we all, I mean Lorena and I cheated, because Ashley came up with them. But hey, I do love that moment.
I just jogged your memory, that's all.
They're all great moments.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with Season 2, Episode 21, The Departure, which is the last episode of the second season.
Woo, we're almost there! And you can always follow us on social media, including we are now on TikTok at Roswell Hot Sauce. And our website, as you can probably imagine, is roswellhotsauce.com. And if you want to shoot us a message privately, not on social media, you can always email us at, you guessed it, roswellhotsauce@gmail.com.
Pass the Hot Sauce is produced and edited by Ashley Hullett, who joined us today for this conversation. Our theme music is by David Belcourt, and our logo was designed by Billy Murray.
Until next time, remember...
And no aliens either, I can tell.